How do Mime Artists, and welcome to some brand new stages, some brand new main stages, which is very exciting. Lots of new Pokemon, some absolutely fantastic ones. We'll see shiny Yvetal in this video, which just looks absolutely gorgeous. But before that, first one up is Wooper. Not too bad at all. It's a 3 Pokemon stage. I decided to take along the Suicune, Ash Greninja just for that wonderful Unity power, and then shiny Gyarados as well. The way I did this, just using Suicune first couple of turns, get rid of as many of the unbreakable blocks on the stage as possible, and then just go in with the shiny Gyarados and with the Ash Greninja just to get some real good hitting points. And beyond that, this is going to be one of the delightfully easy stages. I think there's only about 3 in this set of 10 that I found completely delightfully simple, which is probably what you can expect when you're up into the 600s of stages. Quite a few difficult ones, as we'll see, and I did try to go as itemless as possible for a lot of these stage. Every single one was tried out with many different itemless teams first, quite a few of them, no chance at all of anything itemless like the shiny Yvetal. But we'll see throughout some of the different possibilities. 27% on the Wooper, which is not too shabby for just a couple moves left. There's not that many, and this is pretty much just a guaranteed S rank after 1 or 2 shots, as long as you're able to get the Suicune and the Ash Greninja working. 30 attack power, not the best, but quirky plus. It's something we know from Xerneas. It's very good. It probably isn't going to be used on a Wooper though. So next up we have Chauncey Stage 642 going in Mega Tyranitar. We've got Meloetta, Buzzwole and Lucario. Lucario has the ability to make more give a greater score for combo points of fighting types. As you'll see, the Tyranitar very helpful just to be able to get rid of some of the very uncomfortable disruptions that we'll see on this stage. I tried a lot because this was just the second one of the 10. I thought this one's going to be able to be done itemlessly. I couldn't find a way of doing it. I tried a lot of different teams. I tried adding in Rock Break Pokemon to get rid of quite a few of the rocks that show up. I tried using Eject Plus Pokemon to get rid of all of the obtuse Chanseys and Igglybuffs or Wigglytuffs or whichever one of the buffs or tuffs it is that comes onto the stage that you'll see in a move or two. None of it seemed to work, so I just had to go the route of using items, which I wasn't so much a fan of, but it definitely had to be done for this run. In terms of getting an S rank, I think it's going to be fairly difficult as there's quite a lot of HP, and even with pretty much all of these Pokemon maxed out, I think Lucario is level 14, Meloetta I think is up to 15, and the Buzzwole's level 10, that one can't be leveled up any higher, and the Mega Tyranitar, that's level 10 as well. Don't think that one can go any higher. I tried it with using the Lucario as the Mega, did not work very well because it had to be in specific places, so I find it just much easier to do the tapping. Even if it's not super effective, I just think it's a better Mega. It does seem strange that a lot of these new main stages will rely on tapping Megas like this one, just to be able to have a much better score. There seems to be a lot less skill and just a lot more coins and tapping Megas involved in some of these stages. There we go, 3 moves left. For an S rank, there's possibly going to have to be even more coins spent. Maybe come back to it once we've got some better Pokemon, a couple of months down the line, give it a shot then with a couple of items and you should be fine. So Frillish is up next, going in with Gengar, Hoopa, Shiny Tyranitar and Zoroark. So this one, as you can see, a lot of barriers on the stage. You could try taking along something along the lines of the shiny Tyranitar as the Mega, but I don't know if there's enough time to really get it started or enough of a warrant beyond just the starting board for taking that. You'd have to use a Mega Start, and I don't think that's really necessary. I think the Gengar is fine for this stage. I think it's easy enough on its own. If you've got stuff like Hoopa, mine's is up to I think max level, and it's got about skill level 4 of Risk Taker, so it's pretty good. Not too shabby of a stage, and it's a nice new Pokemon we've not had before, I believe. I might just not have caught it. But give it another couple of shots and I'm sure I'll be able to catch it, which is fine. It's probably not going to be that great of a Pokemon. Next up here we have Quagsire. So Mega Start plus 5 moves, you will see that combo quite a lot for a few of these runs. I've got here Ash Greninja again, very good on this stage, can do a lot of power output. Tapu Bulu, as there will be quite an awful lot of unbreakable blocks which do very much get in the way, and because of that strange kind of mix up of types, I thought why not bring along the Silvally. Mine's is I think level 16, 17 at this point, so it's very highly leveled, skill level 3 or 4 as well. It's going to be very good once the typeless combo starts working. When you get lots of those unbreakable blocks out of the way, and then you can start getting lots of combos with the Tyranitar as much as possible. It seems like a fairly okay team, works quite well together. If you've not, I think it was a little bit overkill, the plus 5 moves and the Mega Start. I was having quite a lot of trouble being able to do itemlessly. I tried with quite a few teams, none of them seemed to work. I tried this one itemlessly, didn't work either, so I thought let's just go with what's happened before. The plus 5 moves, the Mega Start, too much. I'd say one or either. If you want to try itemless, give it a shot. I did really struggle with it though. Maybe just get rid of the plus 5 moves as it doesn't help catch rate. And with that, I'd still have 7 moves left, completely unnecessary. Only 1,000 coins wasted. Nice safety net, but not really necessary. The stage isn't that difficult, I just definitely struggled with it itemlessly, as you might as well. But an S rank as well, and they all add up to some of those nice new expert stages. 60 attack power, quite good. And ground force increases ground type combos. Ground types in the combo, which is fine as well. It could be mildly useful somewhat down the line, as it's got an okay attack power and ability. Blissey, next one up, plus 5 moves, Mega Start. And as you can see, we're going in yet again Mega Tyranitar, because it's a very good Mega. Combine it with Mega Start, it takes no time to get started, and there are a lot of disruptions on the field. So there are a lot of Blissey on the field, there are going to be quite a few blocks, rocks. There's I think a couple of unbreakable blocks as well. It's a fairly hefty stage in terms of HP, so I just thought of going along with a full fighting team, Lucario, and a nice little Mega on the side there to be able to help with some combos when the Blissey are gone. My team, I think I mentioned before, but Lucario's up to about level 14 I think. Meloetta level 15, that's skill level 3 or 4 I believe. And the Buzzwole skill level 3 or 4 and highest level I think, which is 10 just now. Be nice if some of those Ultra Beasts you could start leveling up, because I think most of mine's are... Not the Ultra Beast, I mean the Tapus. The Tapus would be nice to start getting some raise max levels on them. That would be nice as well as Pokemon like Buzzwole. I don't think that one has the ability for you to level up anything beyond 10. At the moment anyway, that will no doubt change in the coming months. I think it's just Buzzwole is incredibly powerful as it is. And just at the last move there, being able to beat the Blissey. As you can see, the Chauncey and the Blissey, they are some of the more temperamental and difficult stages in the set of 10, which is not the best, but you're going to find them in all sets of 10s. There will be some difficult ones. Next up is Time Pole. This one, delightfully simple, delightfully easy, completely itemless. Take along Time Pole. It should have been in an earlier stage, which is fine. I brought along Shaman as well. Take along whatever you like, really. As long as you've got the Time Pole there, it will be able to help with the disruptions, because Time Pole will be on the stage if you don't bring it along. So bring Time Pole. Shaman's fine, because if you can get it working, it can stop quite a few of the rocks that appear on the field. Not that they're that much bother, it's just in the first couple of moves you really want to have it finished, and that can kind of be stopped by the almost every turn that the Time Pole will put the rocks out there. But feel free to go with a stronger grass type if you like, give it a shot. Doesn't especially matter, just as long as you got the Time Pole and a way to break some of those blocks down. Simple, delightful, wonderful, easy, done. Next up, Jellison, and that's not exactly the same with this stage. +5 moves, Mega Start. Mega Starting up the shiny Tyranitar, which is one I've certainly not used a lot of. You might be able to get away with it slightly with maybe not the +5 moves if you've got it higher leveled. I think mine's is only about level 7. Along with that, I've also brought Hoopa, which is fully leveled, about skill level 3 or 4 with the Risk Taker, so it can do a lot of damage in just one single hit, which is very good. I also brought along, just to kind of match with the Zoroark's ability, I brought along the Alolan Muck, just because for the more disruptions it has on the stage, the more damage it does. I don't think it went off during this run, but it can be quite helpful, and it's also a dark type just to help the Zoroark out. If you're in a little bit of a combo, can be minorly helpful. If you wanted, you could always just take along a different Mega, something like the normal Tyranitar, because when there aren't any ice blocks on the stage, it's just useless, does nothing, and it's not the best Mega in that state. But for a stage that does have barriers every couple of turns, it is very useful just to have along. But there will be times where it makes matches when you really don't want it to, just because there are no ice blocks on the stage. And as you can see, completely and utterly saved by the combo. It's quite a hefty stage with about 30,000 hit points. So it will maybe take a couple of tries, even with one or two of the items, the +5 moves, or the Mega Start, but give it a shot, see how you feel, try it itemless. I certainly did. I came nowhere close to being able to beat it, and was just saved by that combo at the end there. Wasn't able to catch it, might go back a little bit later, give it a shot in maybe a couple months when some of the Pokemon are slightly better. And next up here we have the Fire Castform. This is what seems to be now the obligatory puzzle stage in the new sets of 10. There are quite a few ways of doing this, just make sure that you're making matches of 3 every turn, nothing more than a match of 3. That 5 Castform can look very tempting, but it definitely shouldn't be, just because that is the best way to get over that puzzle stage. And then after that I've got Mega Marsh Stomp, I've got Ash Greninja and Winking Manaphy. Winking Manaphy has the Rock Break ++ ability, so it should help just getting rid of as many blocks. This could be done probably without a +5 moves if you're incredibly lucky with hitting Winking Manaphy first turn, getting rid of the blocks, and then a very good Ash Greninja on the second turn after the puzzle has gone away. But beyond that, I think the best way of S-ranking this stage is going along with a +5 moves. You're not guaranteed it, but it will become a lot easier and it won't be so much down to the RNG. I didn't get it this time, but no doubt if I go back another couple of times with just the +5 moves, it would be fine. You won't need something like a Mega Start, that would be too much. But if you could get some good luck just with a Manaphy, with maybe a Marsh Stomp as well, just getting that to go off as quickly as possible could be very useful just to get that S rank. So it wasn't able to catch it. It was about 9%, which is fine. I'll give it another couple of shots. It's going to be one of those ones that will be a little bit easier with some good high level Pokemon. And next up here we have Tyrunt. So this is just a full steel team. The Celesteela isn't exactly necessary, mine's is fully leveled, so I just thought of bringing it along. It's quite a good steel type, even if there aren't disrupting Pokemon on the field. The main Pokemon you will be using will be the Registeel and the Mega Aggron. Mega Aggron, very good. It's just exactly the same as the Mega Tyranitar. You can use Solgaleo as well if there aren't any disruptions on the field. Very good for a stage like this, full steel team. That way you'll just be able to do a lot more damage when there are steel types in the combo, which can be very helpful for just getting it a little bit easier, getting the win a little bit easier. But beyond that, this stage is another one that is relatively delightfully simple. It can be done itemless, might not S-rank it necessarily itemless, but can be beaten itemless no doubt. For the S-rank, +5 moves maybe. If you're struggling with that, I'd say maybe try the Mega Start, but it should be a relatively fine stage. It doesn't take too much to beat it. And there we go, 3 moves left, not too shabby. It's a Pokemon we've had before, it's one we've seen. We'll probably get the evolution in the next set of 10, that might be slightly more difficult, but it was fine, it was delightful, it wasn't too shabby. But shiny Yvetal, this is the end of my item run, no item run. A fraction of the health is taken off. Not very good at all. This is my item run with everything except a complexity -1. I think it could be done. You'd need to have some very good Pokemon, you'd need to have some very good luck, but it's possible it could be done without the complexity -1. I just think that for how many times you'd need to do it, it would just be cheaper to use the complexity -1. So I changed up the team slightly from the other ones. I got rid of the Excelgor, kept the Mega Tyranitar. As you can see from the set of 10, it's probably the best Mega we've got out there just now, certainly for stages that you need to use a Mega Start on, or ones that have a lot of moves just so you can get the Mega working. Along with that, there's also Meloetta just for the nosedive, which is a very good Pokemon. It can do a lot of damage, so when you don't have something necessarily you've not got a match for with the Buzzwole, you can make a match with the Meloetta and do a significant amount of damage still. Beyond that, it's pretty much just a normal stage. If you've not got the complexity -1, there are a lot of shining Yvetal on the stage, which can really hinder you, but it does have very good ability, as we'll see later, that I think in one of my earlier runs did go off and did an awful lot of damage, which was very good, can be a very good Pokemon to have in there. Along with that is Escavalier, as there is a disruption delay in play. We don't really see how it's used, but once Yvetal starts to disrupt more towards the end, I think there's just a couple of moves in which we've got its disruptions. There are an awful lot of barriers on the stage. Escavalier has the Barrier Bash ++, very good for getting rid of an awful lot in a short space of time, just to be able to keep combos going, to be able to do a lot more damage. So there we go, ice blocks down the side, ice blocks in the middle, ice blocks all over. It's just a very good Pokemon to have, the Escavalier, for instances like this when there will just be a couple of moves left. And it will be quite helpful. I'm not actually sure if it went off during this run, but it is a very, very helpful Pokemon to have along. There we go, 8 moves left. Without the +5 moves would have just been +3. Not entirely necessary the +5 moves, but I think it's just a good safety net to have along if maybe you've not got a Tyranitar when you need it, something along those lines. 26% is pretty good for 3 moves left. Was able to catch it without a Great Ball, which feels fantastic. That's an absolutely wonderful thing to happen. Enough coins have been spent on these 10. And attack power 80, very good, and hyper drain. I think we've seen this before in a couple of Pokemon, maybe that was Mega Drain. Damage varies depending on the opponent's remaining HP, so it takes a certain chunk, and when you start leveling that up, it will be, I think, a very good Pokemon to have in a dark team. But that is that set of 10 stages done. Thank you very much for watching, and how do, Mime Artists?
Eggs! Eggs! EGGS eggs!